guys, welcome back. I'm Amanda.
And I am Jody.
And we are recording on a Saturday.
Hold on, let me set the scene real quick. It's late. It's past my bedtime, which you might not think that's late.
Y'all, it's 9 o'clock.
No, it's not. It's past 9 o'clock. So we're recording late. And I have a lingering headache. I've had one all day. Seems like, I've had a lot of headaches here lately. But I saw a story, and I meant to tell you, there was a guy, I think it was in Florida. He was struggling with headaches for a while. I think it said for like a month. And he went to the doctor to get checked out. And
it was a tumor.
No. I bet he wished it was a tumor. You know what it was?
No. I was trying to think of this word, and I can't think of what I wanted to say.
I don't have it in front of me now, but I think it was a flesh-eating amoeba.
That's the word I was going to say. I couldn't
Flesh-eating
get it out.
or amoeba?
Amoeba.
Amoeba. I can't even say it now.
Amoeba.
All right,
and I couldn't say it.
Right. So, you know how they've come to the conclusion of how he got this flesh-eating amoeba? No, maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking now it was like a tapeworm.
I think you need to get your facts
I
straight.
think I should have looked this up.
I think you should have looked that one up, buddy.
Yeah, well, this how unprepared we are because it just comes to me. But I don't think it was the amoeba. I think it was like a tapeworm. Anyway, so do you have any idea how they think? They're pretty sure this is how he got it.
No.
Uncooked bacon. The bacon that he'd been eating was not cooked thoroughly. So they think it came from that. That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Because I got a bacon biscuit this week, and the bacon on it was pretty flabby. And I didn't eat it just because of this right here. If it had been crisp, I'd have ate it.
So you're not eating flabby bacon?
Well, I don't want to feed the beast in my head right now.
Feed the beast, feed the beast, feed the beast. You know what that's from?
I do know what that's from. But yeah, we just got back. Well, we've been back just a little bit, but we had a little get-together at a friend's house.
Hey, Spencer.
And Rebecca. But they just bought a house. And so we had a, what's it called?
Low country bowl.
Yeah, and what's all in it? You had red potatoes, corn, Kaneka sausage.
Jinx, pinch poke, give me a Coke.
And then the best two things were last. What are they?
Shrimp and crab legs.
Crab legs.
You know what I like about crab legs? I got a good man, and he cracks them for me and gets the meat out so I don't have to.
Crab legs is one of those things to where it's like, is it worth it? Because it's a lot of work for a little bit of payoff.
Yeah, but, we probably forgot one of the most important things we needed tonight.
Yeah, the little cracker.
The little cracker things. What are they called?
I have no idea. It's just what's called a cracker. It's like a little pair of pliers, but we end up, I guess, we did get a pair of pliers. That's the funny thing, out of a toolbox, I guess. Spencer had one, and me and Josh passed it around back and forth and cracked some of them. But other than that, we just did the big claw. The other ones we could handle pretty good, but it was still a struggle. I actually cut my finger while I was trying to open them up. But yeah, I actually opened up, I guess, 5 crab legs to feed you.
Yeah.
Before I ever had my first one. Might have been more than that.
No, it wasn't more than that.
But yeah, it was very good. We had
Shout out to Jody. He's a good one.
That's right. That's me, if y'all didn't know it. So, but yeah, we had fun. We had several couples there, and just had a good old fellowship time. Wish we had a fire pit. Like I said, they've just moved into this house, so I'm going to have to help him with where to put his fire pit, because that's the only thing he's missing. Wonderful house.
Fire pit.
Great spot.
We like a fire pit. We're going to podcast out at the fire pit one night.
Well, we said we are going to do that while it was still kind of cool. Now it's warming up. We've got to hurry and do it. I don't know how it would sound, but it would be very neat. If you've never sat at a fire pit at night.
If the fire was popping and you're out there talking and you hear that popping in the background, I think it'd be kind of cool.
I don't know if I could talk a whole lot, though, because it just relaxes me, and I just want to listen to the fire.
Yeah.
But we've gotten to where we have a screen out there and a projector, and a lot of times we'll watch a movie Or if it's during football season or something.
We like to watch football out there.
Yeah, watching college football, there's nothing like it on a Saturday night. The only thing about that is...
It's hot.
What do you mean? If
during
we're watching
football, it's hot during football, and we don't...
No, it's not.
When football starts, it is.
Oh, well, when it starts, but we don't really have a fire out there when it first starts.
Yeah, we just watch it, no fire.
I'm just saying, on Saturday nights, sometimes it's kind of late, and then having to tear all that stuff down, taking the screen down, all that stuff, and knowing we got to get up early for church and all that
I think
stuff.
you should just build a pavilion for us.
I think so. Top and all that.
Yeah,
We've got a pergola?
Yeah.
Kind of, that I built out there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All our lights are
I call
out.
it Freedom Square.
Yeah, that's a good
The
one.
Patriot Zone, something like that, because, yeah, you can sit there and just say whatever you want to say. But yeah, I'm ready for bed.
So that means we got to get rocking and rolling.
No, we're going to give this our 110% like always.
Well, I gave my 10%.
At least one of us will.
I gave my 10.
Yeah, you're done, so I guess I'll be
done.
talking the rest of the time. So,
all right, so what's happened this week?
They had the Eclipse Monday, and I'm not big on just, researching this stuff, waiting for it, making sure I can see it and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to change my schedule, but if it's possible, when it's going to happen, I'm going to happen. The only thing that scared me this time was that like 6 months ago, you made me a eye appointment.
I know, and you had an eye appointment on the day of the eclipse.
Yes,
that was funny.
And it was at 3:00, and the eclipse, the best part of it was at 2, or totality? I think that's what it calls for us. We were like in the 92 or 94%, total eclipse. So yeah, I was kind of like, man, I'm going to cut this thing close by the time I have to leave for the eye appointment and all that stuff. So 2 minutes till 2 when it's supposed to be the fullness of it all. Guess what happened? At least where I was at. It clouded up. Clouded up. What about where you were at? We weren't too far from each other. We just weren't together.
No, me and Spencer went out and looked at it, and it was pretty cool.
Spencer is your coworker, right?
Yes, it was pretty cool.
And we all had glasses. We had bought those $2 glasses that they were selling everywhere. And I heard a story about that too, that some people were busted for selling fake Eclipse glasses. Now,
Why do you do that?
What kind of Igbo are you to do that? Especially
just to make some money?
Right. But I would hate to think, when I was staring at the sun with those things on, when you wear those things and look anywhere, you just don't.
It's like total black everywhere else.
Right. Shows you how powerful they are. But
what are they made of?
But still,
like how they make it so black, but you can see the sun. What is that?
Well, it just shows you how bright the sun is. It's kind of like a welder's mask.
Yeah.
The spark is so bright.
I've seen some pictures with people in their welder's mask.
Yeah, well, that's smart. That's probably better than what these little solar glasses were. But anyway, if you think about it, or at least I did when I was staring at the sun with those glasses on, I feel like maybe I am doing something to my eyes, just staring even with these glasses on, and I just don't know it. So now you go back to these people that were selling these fake glasses. What about when do you find out that they're fake? The next day when you can't see, when you go blind, what does it do? It burns?
Could you not tell that it was fake? If you can see stuff around you, then you should know it's fake.
But if you don't know, if you're thinking, it's like 3D glasses, when you put them on, do you know that that's a legitimate 3D, or they just seem kind of funny? You don't know the difference. So if you get a pair of glasses that's really dark or not so dark, you're just going to think, hey, they're legit because it said so. Right?
So you just take it for its word. You just got to trust it.
And then
find out
the bad way that 2 days later you've burnt your retina or whatever like that. Mm-hmm. Didn't I see them interview some guy that had burned his retina? He did.
I saw. Are you talking about the story I saw?
Maybe. I don't know.
When he was in elementary school or whatever, and he looked up at the sun, and his mama told him not to, and he burned his retina.
How long does it take, though, to stare? Know. It seems like when I was in elementary school or whatever, it seemed like there was a game who could stare at the sun the longest.
Yeah, why you do that?
So isn't that doing damage to your eye?
Yeah.
So Junior over there that stared at it, how long did he stare at it to where it burned his retina?
I don't know. I didn't listen that good. I just heard him say he was in elementary school.
I feel like if you
and his mama told him to stop staring at it.
I feel like if you stared at it for like 10 seconds, you've done some damage, right?
Yeah.
You've ever glanced up there and your eye starts watering?
Your eyes start watering. You can't even look up there.
Yeah, and I was thinking that when I was getting my eye exam and when he put that little prism looking in the back of your eye and this bright light in your eye, I was thinking, nah, is this healthy for my eye? This spotlight he's putting in my eye?
That thing is bright.
Yeah. But, I meant to ask him, too, if he walked outside or if his employees were able to go outside and look at it. Or did he care? But he was a busy fella, let me tell you.
He is very busy.
A bunch of people.
He is very busy.
But, yeah, so the next, well, let's see, when was the last one? 2017? Is that right?
I don't know. You're my facts guy.
Yeah, this was the first eclipse since 2017.
Are they all total eclipses or totality?
No.
Because can't you have an eclipse and it not be?
Yeah, somebody is going to have a total eclipse and then other people's not going to see. Okay. It's kind of like us. We weren't 100%.
They were in Texas where...
Texas, Arkansas, it went up northeast.
Yeah.
The one, and I'll find out when it is here in a minute, but I think the next one, I think Oregon is going to be the only place that you're going to be able to see it at. During the time the moon's disk covers that of the sun, and only then, so totality, it's safe to look at the eclipse without a solar filter or eclipse glasses. So, in fact, to experience the awesomeness of the event, you must look at the sun without a filter during totality. How about that?
Without?
Yeah, because it's saying it's completely covered, so you're not going to be damaging your eyes.
Who's going to take that chance?
Well, it says it right here, so you can do it.
Okay.
Listen, but it's I think this is pretty neat. Depending on your surroundings, as totality nears, you may experience strange things. You'll notice a resemblance to the onset of night, though not exactly. So I guess, it starts getting a little dark. Shadows appear different, and then usually any breeze will dissipate, and birds, many of whom will return to roost, will stop chirping, so it's quiet. And sometimes 10 to 15 degree drop in temperature is not unusual. So basically, the birds think that it's about.
And that's your science lesson for this week, folks.
That's right. That was didn't mean to bore you on that, but and especially since the eclipse is over.
I thought you was looking up when the next one was.
Yeah, I'm right here at it. This is the last one, so the eclipse will happen. Nope, that's not it. The next total solar eclipse over the continental U.S. Requires a 20-year wait because we got to wait till August 23rd, 2044. That one is going to be visible only in Montana and North Dakota. I think I said Oregon a minute ago, so I was a little bit wrong. Great total solar eclipses follow in 2045 and 2078. We will not be here.
I hope not.
At least not that 2078 one. Those events will have a maximum totalities of 6 minutes and 6 seconds and 5 minutes and 40 seconds. So that's pretty cool. All right, and what is this you said?
That's your science lesson of the week, folks.
Science update. And close that chapter. Done.
Good. All right, so I enjoyed telling our story last week. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to it. And I have thought
I think, going back, I think we got stuck, though, for a while on, like, prom, maybe. Didn't it seem like we got stuck in the area for a little while too long?
Yeah. So, we have several stories, but one that comes to mind that I'd like to throw out there. So I told y'all last time that...
Hold on. I didn't agree to none of this, so I don't know where you're going.
Oh, well. So...
And I'm trying to think right now what you're about to say.
I told y'all last time that Jody rode bulls back in his crazy years. I never got to see him ride bulls. I think he did it right when we started dating. I don't remember, maybe 1 or 2 times doing it after we started. That I knew of. He probably did it and didn't tell me. Oh, well, I know he did because...
We were dating. Well, we started going out. Were we dating? dating.
Well, I don't know. What do you call it?
I don't know, but we were going out, and I was still, I maybe rode a couple, and then ended my career.
Okay, so back when we were teenagers I was a teenager. Jody was in his 20s. You had high school rings, and you wore each other's rings.
Oh, I know where you're going.
And so...
Shut it down.
So, of course, Jody has mine, and mine fits on his pinky, and he would wear it on his pinky.
Why would I do that?
I don't know. Why did you do that?
I don't know.
And why did you do it at a rodeo? I didn't know this at the time, but found out later that he lost my ring at a rodeo in the mud.
Where do I need to jump in here? Because I don't remember what all you know and what you don't know.
Well, just go ahead and spill it.
Well, you go ahead.
All.
You just go ahead and tell the story. And then
all I know is I was told after the fact that you went back and dug through the mud and found it wherever you rodeoed at. But apparently there's some more to the story because the look on your face.
Oh, no, I don't have any look on my face.
Yeah.
I've just got a headache and I'm holding my head.
Oh.
So when did I tell you? A few days after, or you like a year? What?
No, not a year. I think it was a few weeks. I don't think it was a few days.
No, so this is what happened, and I didn't hide none of this.
Do kids do that these days? They don't swap rings. Like, Nicholas didn't even get a ring.
Nicholas didn't get a ring. He didn't get a jacket.
He didn't get nothing.
Yeah, he didn't get... Did he get a yearbook?
No. He quit yearbooks a long time ago.
So we didn't get a yearbook. We didn't get a ring. We didn't get a Letterman jacket.
Yeah.
He didn't get anything. So, saved us money, so, oh well. Okay, so I think you're just remembering it wrong.
Oh.
So I didn't ride this night. Excuse me. I had a buddy of mine that was riding, and so I was going to have to tighten his rope, his bull rope. So when you get on, I was on the back of the chute. For anybody that doesn't really, know anything about this, so you got a bull in a chute, in a pen, I guess you would, a tight pen is called a chute, and the bull rider, slides down onto the bull's back, and there's a rope that goes around him anyway, so that rope's got to be pulled tight, so his hand will be tight, so I'm the one doing that for him, so I'm behind the chute, and I'm doing that, and he ties in all this kind of stuff. Anyway, he rides, we're there all night. We get back, and I don't know if it was that, I guess it was that night, I realized that, hey, her ring that was on my pinky finger, and I really don't know why I wore it on my pinky finger.
I don't either.
Yeah, but it was no longer there. So at some point, I guess coming back home, or after we'd already got there, I'd realized that it was lost. But I do remember the next day, I called the rodeo company to see if anybody had found it.
He was scared to death.
Well, I lost your ring, and, I was thinking that's money, and I was going to have to buy another one. I said, a lot of problems with this. But I never got left messages, and never got a call back or anything from this rodeo company. So, but we ended up, and I don't even remember where it was at, but we ended up driving all the way back up there the next day and looking around in the dirt and the mud and all that stuff.
I remember you saying it was muddy.
Yeah, and could not, had no idea. I mean, you might as well be in a field.
Because mine was gold.
Yeah.
I didn't do silver.
Yeah, I remember what it was like.
Mine. Yeah.
But either way, I mean, it's still,
yeah.
I mean, because I'm thinking it's been trampled on. It's, it's 6 inches in the mud. And there's no way. So we never found it, didn't find anything like that. I don't know if it was me or my buddy that thought about looking in his bag, his bull riding bag, that had all of his equipment, the rope and all that stuff. And guess what was in that bag? At the bottom of that bag was that ring.
Well,
so it had
I thought
come
it was
off
in the mud.
So in the middle of putting the rope back in there, or me getting it out, or whatever it was, that ring had popped off and it was in that bag. So
wow.
How about that?
You redeemed yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so see, I could have been like, whew, I should have never said anything. You'd have never known.
I would have never known.
Yeah. But I don't know if it was a few days or what before I'd found it.
It was a hot minute before you ever told me.
It might have been the next week when we got the bag back out to ride, and that's when we found it. I don't know. It might have been a whole week before I found that ring. I don't remember. But I don't think if I'd lost it, I'd have kept it from you for a week. And I might have a day or two just to get my bearings and, try and find it. But if I hadn't found it in a few days, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have waited, longer than that to tell you. It is what it is.
I guess so. That's just another fun little crazy story.
I've only got like 3 pictures, I think, of me bull riding. I'm going to put one out there.
Wonder if that's when you hurt your back. Wonder if that started all your back problems.
I'll say, yeah.
We're going to blame it on that?
Yeah, I do remember. I rode a bull named Gremlin, and he spun around on me, and he barely got out of the chute, and he just started spinning. And right there in the corner, they plow up the inside the arena to make it, a little bit softer or whatever. Well, right there in the corner, they don't. Well, of course, that's where I landed. But I landed flat on my back in that corner. And I remember I had little blood blisters on my back from where the little rocks, pebbles and stuff that's in there. That's all I can, I guess, is just from landing on that. But, yeah, we'll blame it on that. How about that?
Thinking of pictures, you said, I don't think you have pictures, but I think you have VHS tapes. Because I remember when we started dating, you had a big video recorder that you set on your shoulder. Back then it was a big old...
Like a RCA, yeah. I know.
Yeah, that you set. Right. I wonder where those are.
I have not even thought about that.
Yes. I can't believe your mom hadn't come across them or something.
I don't know.
Or...
No, we've got some.
I don't know.
We've got some, matter of fact, in the closet. It's either in this back closet behind me right here, or it's in the attic. I don't think it's in the attic. I think it's in the back closet.
So we have them here?
We have, I'm going to say it's like a little 3-drawer thing. There's probably 20 or 30. And but even when you find it, how would you play it? We don't have a VCR.
That's true.
Can you get VCRs?
Our church has VCRs.
I guess I'd be taking it to the church then.
That'd be something to watch. I don't know.
But I guess
we might have to drag that out.
I guess you would just have to. You could get on Amazon.
I guess so. And buy cheap.
Somebody I know.
Cheap.
There's a company that still makes VCRs. I'm
eBay.
Sure, because you can
find one on eBay.
Yeah, some people.
I'm surprised we don't have one in the attic. Actually,
we might do it, but I just don't want to go searching for it. I'd be willing to pay $30 or $40 for just for a one time.
So you don't have to get in the attic.
Well, we've got all these recordings from the small cameras. There for a while,
we had that
when
little bitty camera,
so you'd have the small tape, and then you can convert it. Well, I don't know. No, you would play it. You would hook that to your TV and play it to that. So how would you actually record that onto something else to save it, or could you?
I think you can send them off. There's companies that do that. I think you could send it off and have it done.
And they just put it on a disc, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we don't even have a DVD player.
Yeah, we got rid of that too.
So what you gonna put it on?
No, do we not have a TV that one slides in the side? Is that not our bedroom TV?
No, that TV got took to the church.
That's right. That's our security camera TV.
Now you've told it all. All right, so that was just a fun little story. That story sticks out. I like that story. I don't know why. I just think it's funny.
I wish just reliving the rodeo days. I didn't rodeo too long, but still. Just to think of that, I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah, what were you thinking?
That was,
I like rodeos, though. We've been to a couple.
We've been to several, and, I've met...
The big rodeo.
Anybody that knows rodeos knows who Tough Hedeman is. I met him and got his autograph one time. Don Gay, I don't even know if he's still alive. He's an old rodeo bull riding guy.
Yeah.
Got his autograph one time, so... Yeah.
Back in the good old days.
Yeah, but looking at it now, it's like, I wouldn't get on a bull for nothing. We'd go to Mississippi, and I can't remember the guy's name now. So, he's famous in the rodeo community, but we'd go down there and ride steers. That's what we practiced on. When I first got started, you just got on a steer and kind of got your bearings how to...
Who got you into that?
I don't know. But you just, you're trying to get your balance, forward, and, you can only lean certain ways. You ever get leaned back, or if you sit on the tail end of a bull, yeah, you're in trouble because you're gonna
He
get
don't like
flung. Yeah, so you got to sit up there on your hand. You got to lean over
Lean
his
in.
head. You're leaning over his head. I mean, it's a crazy thing. Like if he raised his head up, I mean, you kiss him on the forehead pretty much. But yeah, if you don't do that, you're starting off on the wrong angle to begin with. You ain't gonna make it. I'm acting like I'm, such a great, bull rider. I wasn't, but I just knew the basics.
I'm glad you got out of that.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of. So another thing during our dating times, I was in a band, and I always remember Friday nights, it being so cold. You'd come up there, we'd be under the blanket, Friday night football.
I think some of the coldest I've ever been, not just saying that what you're talking about right now, but being at a Friday night football game, high school football games.
Yeah.
That's some of the coldest
That is cold.
I've ever been.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And I don't know is it just because you're not prepared for it? I think that's most of it, right? When people go to these ball games, they don't just prepare. They're not wearing thermals under and all this kind of stuff.
I think when we were younger, we didn't really care, but going to some of Nicholas's, I mean, we would prepare, but we still weren't prepared enough. I don't think it got cold. Like back when I
remember particularly one of the games when you went to school that I remember I was wearing like a Carhartt jacket.
Yes.
I remember I was pretty much bundled up.
I think
pretty
we have
good.
a picture of that.
And
I don't know where it's at though.
I froze. I was acting cool and tough like I wasn't, but deep down inside,
Because you probably gave me your jacket.
I was freezing, and that might be the coldest I've ever been.
Those are fun times too.
But when Nicholas, a few years ago, hadn't been but two years since he graduated.
Just a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This May will be a year.
So yeah, when he played football, it got cool when the sun was going down. It would get cool, but of course, it wasn't nothing like what I remember. Several years back.
I know. I mean, I feel like we don't. Football weather now is not like what it used to be when I was a kid. It seems like I don't know. I mean, I know that doesn't make any sense, but I remember freezing at ball games.
Oh yeah.
And now
I know.
it's not.
Well, I know now. I go prepared.
And maybe that's it. Maybe
that's like I will. I know. The one year we even had our little small propane tank heater we would take.
Yeah.
And then I always supplied hot hands for people.
Jody was the hot hands man.
Yeah, I mean, we would take a blanket or whatever, and I wore thermals. Just on the nights we knew when the sun went down, it was going to be cool. I don't like cold weather, so especially now. And so I go prepared. But I miss going to the games since he graduated.
I do too.
Yeah,
we only went to a couple this year for our friends.
Yeah, we that was a thing because you had to go. Group of parents that you sat with year after year after year. Everybody's kids, were involved and they're growing up together. And then when a group graduates and there's one or two kids that's just now turning a senior. They're kind of left behind. And so now, we went back and sat with some of the parents that we're used to, but it's just not the same because everybody's not there anymore.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah.
It was different.
Yeah, I miss it.
I miss it, but better things to come, maybe.
I wouldn't, if we'd won all the time. It sure would have made it better.
It would have made it a lot better sitting out in that rain, that one ball game that, oh man, that we went to the car. That one ball game, it was raining so bad. All right, well, that's a couple of more stories that we got for you. And we may just throw these things in there, here and there, depending on what we've got to talk about or whatever. Jody has watched an interesting show might have took him 2 weeks to watch. I can't remember I'm pretty sure it did, on Netflix. And I thought we might talk about Netflix a little bit.
I watched one that's called 3 Body Problem.
I don't remember that one. Was I not here?
I think, I don't know. I was not able, you watch bits and pieces. If it's like 8 episodes, I'm not going to watch like 20 or 30 minutes of the episode and then finish the episode the next night. I've got to watch at least one full. I don't want to watch a partial episode. So it did. It seemed like it took 2 weeks, but I watched 2 different things the last couple of weeks, but this one was called, and it's weird, 3-Body Problem. And it's about, apparently aliens are on their way here, to Earth. We find out about it. Some about science, something, physics, all that stuff. Something has changed, and it's not all adding up anymore. And some things are happening to these scientists around the world and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, so apparently they find out that aliens are coming, and it's going to take them 400 years to get here. So we've got to figure things out before they.
Oh,
they
I remember
here.
that one. I watched it on and off with you, but I didn't. Yeah.
It's kind of cool, kind of strange, and everything like that. But I think it was 8 episodes. I think it was. But it ends where, and I, of course, I'm not gonna, like I said, we talked about this. If it's a newer thing, I'm not gonna talk about the ins and outs of all of it. But I will say this: that it ends to where there's gonna have to be another season.
Yeah.
It did not end where there's a conclusion. So, and my thoughts about that is, I hate to think I have to wait.
He hates that.
Well, I hate to think that, you've got me involved and now I got to wait a year, at least probably, to see, and by that time I'll forget. There's another thing that we watched on Peacock. It's a murder podcast.
Yeah. I think,
Is that the name of it? My Murder Podcast?
No. I don't remember
Am I
the
close?
name of it, but
So now I know the name of it. It's called Based on a True Story.
So that was the podcast.
That's she likes everything murder related.
Yeah.
And she wants to do a podcast and everything. And so when they end up figuring out who this murder guy is, and he ends up being like their plumber or something like that anyway.
Yeah.
So then they all get together and start this podcast, and it becomes very popular and all this kind of stuff. And then he's setting them up.
Blackmails them.
Yeah. So it went off, and I don't know how long ago it's been since we watched this.
I don't know.
Been a while. But I looked it up the other day, and it's going to be like another
year.
Yeah. It says either the end of this year or the beginning of 2025.
So you know what I was thinking as we're sitting here talking about Netflix and stuff like that? I've been going back to when we dated and first getting married and stuff like that. But how did we used to watch movies? We used to have to go to Blockbuster and rent movies, talking about VHS tapes and all. I just think, what did we do? Like now we stream everything. And if we can't find something on one platform, we go to another platform. And we used to only have so many channels.
But remember, though, like when we went to Blockbuster, when there was a new release, they'd have 50 copies.
Yeah.
And you're hoping that when, they have it, or you'd call.
Or you call and they hold it for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of overwhelming, too, because you would go, it's almost like turning on Netflix and scrolling through all those movies.
You can scroll through Netflix for 20 minutes before you can ever find anything.
That's what I'm saying.
And you get so aggravated.
It's the same thing of when you're at, like, say, Blockbuster. You walk those few aisles back and forth looking at the new releases, looking at the sci-fi, looking at the, whatever.
It's just crazy
but
how
I think,
things have changed.
But the hassle of that was, you rent it for a day or you got it all weekend. It was the hassle of getting it back on time.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing.
I was never good at that at all.
So is Redbox still a thing?
I don't know.
I see.
Because is that not where Netflix... How did Netflix start? You could rent movies from Netflix and they would send you the disc and you have to send them back, right? Was that Netflix? That's Redbox.
I have no idea. I don't know. I think Netflix was something like that.
Yeah,
I think
they
right,
started off like that, right? I just think it's crazy. I don't know. I was just sitting here thinking how we used to have to go and rent, and now you can sit in the comfort of your own home, and you can rent new movies. What did me and Nicholas, we rented something not too long ago that was just come out in the theaters or whatever, and you could rent it on one of those platforms.
Was it a cartoon type?
Maybe. Was it Mario? Was it the new Mario movie?
I don't
or
know.
Something?
I wouldn't.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I don't know. I was just sitting here thinking how.
But see, they figured that out.
Kids these days, we say it was good back then. Like, we liked it, but I guess that's just because what we grew up with, and they say it's good now, but they'll say back in the good old days.
But see, they figured it out too, like on these new releases. it used to be when a movie came out, you had to wait.
Oh, forever.
It seemed like a year
forever.
before it came out on DVD.
Yeah.
Now a movie comes out, and in, 3 months,
Yeah.
you got a chance to stream it.
Yeah.
But it's like $29.99 or something like that. But
I'd still pay that.
What I'm getting at is that's
You'll pay
that's
it to
smart.
see it.
I'll pay it because I can be in the comfort of my home and I can pause
Jody
it.
will not pay it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I can pause it. I don't have to buy that $9.99
popcorn.
Yeah,
I can make your
butter pop.
popcorn for you.
That's right. That's right. And I don't have to be there at a specific time. Maybe I don't want to be there at 7 o'clock to watch the movie. Maybe I want to watch it at 5:30 when it's convenient for me. Yeah.
That's right. I just thought that's crazy how things...
Everything has
have
changed.
How it's
It's just like, we used to have a rental place on every corner, it seemed like.
Yeah.
You could rent movies. We had one locally
Yeah.
where we live, we live outside of a city, a small city, town, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
And in our little spot, we had just a local place that you could go and, rent whatever. And, of course, they no longer do that. But even if they're still in business, I don't know.
I think they are, but I think they have tanning beds.
Yeah.
I think.
I guess there's always a business for tanning.
I
right?
guess.
It is.
Always.
It's, technology and the way things go, when you're successful, just like Blockbuster and all those, they probably saw that, hey, things are never going to change.
Who would have ever thought you would not have, you wouldn't rent movies anymore? I mean,
it's almost like a gas station that's popular that just makes all kinds of money, and they always have. 20 years from now, they don't realize that, they're going to open up another road or whatever, and it's going to detour all your, your traffic to where you don't do it. I mean, it's just things stuff you just don't foresee.
That reminds me of the Cars movie.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first movie Nicholas seen in theaters, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, you got one more show. I got a sidetrack there, Squirrel. But
it was called Ripley.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it. Why did you not like it?
I mean, I don't know. It was slow. It was, and it was black and white.
But the way it's done, and this is what I like the way it was filmed. I don't know what you would call it, but it is black and white. But it's just very well done. I'd actually forgotten until the last episode that it was in black and white, if that makes sense. I just liked the way it was done. I just liked it.
I know you did. I didn't.
But it's set in Italy.
It was slow.
It's I don't know if they ever went to Rome. I don't know, but in places like that, small little cities in Italy, some of it was very slow, but I liked the storyline. And it's a guy that steals somebody's identity. And it tells, how he slowly manipulates these people and how it keeps going. And I think it was 8 episodes. Is that right?
Yeah,
is that like the norm? Is 8 episodes
Maybe
the
so.
norm?
I don't know. The show I'm hooked on now is 10.
But before you get squirreled into something else.
Oh, I'm not going there.
No, let me finish this. I'm not going to go into detail about all of it since it's new. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Is it new? Or we just... Okay.
No, it's new. But I like the way it ended. All the loose ends.
And I thought it ended weird.
All the loose ends were tied. What? Really?
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. Because I didn't pay attention to the whole thing.
You did not.
And know what
and
it
that's
really
why
was
you
ending
can't say
like
nothing.
that.
Yeah, if you don't watch every episode, you ain't got the right to say nothing.
I was in there.
No, you were there, but you weren't there.
Exactly.
Put it that way.
All right, well, I guess that's all we got for this week.
It's late. I put forth my best effort. I really did.
Me too.
What about you? Did you?
Yes, 120% right there.
I can see it in your eyes.
You can't even see my eyes. They're
Everybody,
closed.
I know. Everybody appreciates it.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow us on all our platforms, wherever you get your podcasts.
We're there. Yeah, wherever you're
Drop
listening
new
to us
ones
right
every
now.
Monday.
Yeah, we appreciate you listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.